Okay, so today we are taking a deep dive into The Fisherman and the Starfish.
Hmm.
It's from this collection of fables called Owl's Fables. And the subtitle, which I think is pretty interesting,
Yeah.
is Lessons You Wish Weren't True.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that theme play out in this fable because on the surface, the story's pretty simple.
Right.
This fisherman, comes across this beach and is covered in stranded starfish.
Okay.
So he starts, throwing them back into the sea one by one, trying to save them. But that's it. That's the basic premise.
Right. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so like why would someone wish that this wasn't true?
Right.
What's the
Right.
deeper meaning here?
Yeah, what's going on under the surface?
Exactly. So let's dive in, and maybe we can figure that out.
Sounds good.
So one thing that I found really striking was the imagery at the beginning of the fable. It's, dawn, the sun is rising, beautiful waves crashing on the shore.
Right. Real peaceful.
Yeah, real peaceful, serene. But then we get this image of all these starfish turning their many arms skyward, glistening.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's almost like a little unsettling.
Yeah, yeah, like the peacefulness is almost hiding something.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of ominous, right?
It is. So it kind of made me wonder, are the starfish actually starfish?
That's a good question.
Like, are they a metaphor for something else?
I think they have to be. It's a fable, right? Everything's symbolic.
Right. Okay, so what do you think they could represent?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious, the idea of individual struggles.
Okay.
Each starfish is like a person facing some kind of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also thinking, what if it's something bigger? Like, what if the starfish represent all the world's problems?
Whoa.
Poverty, war, hunger, all that.
Okay, so, and the fisherman is like, what, humanity?
Maybe. Or just, anyone trying to make a difference in the world.
Okay, I like that.
Because, I mean, think about it. He's clearly moved by the starfish's plight, right? Like, he feels compelled to help.
Yeah, he keeps going back to the beach day after day.
Exactly. And it's not easy. He's out there before dawn, throwing these starfish back into the sea.
Yeah, it almost feels like a ritual.
It does, but you can sense that over time he starts to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, at first I think he has this hope. Like, he really believes he can make a dent in the problem.
Yeah, you see that, like a real sense of purpose.
But then the enormity of the situation hits him.
Right, like the sheer scale of it.
Yeah, it's not just a few starfish
Yeah,
anymore.
countless.
Endless. He starts to question whether his actions even matter.
Right, and that's, I think, the heart of the fable, that moment when compassion turns into despair.
Yeah. And it makes you think, like, have you ever felt that way?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone has at some point.
Right. You start out wanting to help, wanting to fix things, but then the world just throws so much at you, you almost feel paralyzed.
Right, you just want to give up.
Yeah. So what do you make of the moral of the fable? Because it's kind of cryptic.
Oh, it totally is. It says, hold on.
Okay.
It says, acts of kindness can awaken what lies dormant.
Hmm.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, it could be a warning, right?
Okay.
Like sometimes our good intentions can have unintended consequences.
You mean like we try to help, but we actually make things worse?
Exactly. Like we stir up problems we never even saw coming.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Like opening a can of worms.
Exactly. Exactly. But there's also like a more optimistic way to interpret it.
Really?
Yeah, what if it's saying that even small acts of kindness have this incredible power? Like they can set in motion all these amazing, unpredictable things.
So it's not just about the immediate impact.
Right, it's about the ripple effect. Like you throw one starfish back in the sea, and maybe, just maybe, that inspires someone else to do the same.
Yeah. And then another person.
Right, and so on.
So it can create like a chain reaction of good.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that interpretation better.
Yeah, it's definitely more hopeful.
Yeah. But it still makes me think about that fisherman. Like in the end, he chooses to walk away from the beach.
He does, doesn't he?
So was that the right choice?
I don't know. That's a tough one. It's like, is it better to keep trying even when the odds are stacked against you?
Or is it okay to admit defeat?
Yeah.
To say, this is too much. I can't do it all.
And it brings us back to that title, Lessons You Wish Weren't True.
Yeah.
Because it makes you wonder, is the real lesson here that we shouldn't always try to help?
Or that our efforts might not even matter in the grand scheme of things.
Right, because the problems are just too big.
Yeah,
It's a lot to think about.
it really is. So what do you think?
Honestly, I'm still wrestling with it myself.
Yeah, me too. So for everyone listening, what do you think? If you were that fisherman, would you keep going back to that beach or would you walk away?
Yeah.